I've been making videos for about, like, has it been 3 years already? Oh my god. I've been making videos consistently for about 3 years, but I've had my channel since 2015. It'll be its 10-year anniversary this year. In that time, I went from filming videos using my phone camera pointed at a computer screen to fully edited, highly polished, quote-unquote gameplay videos and other types of videos like vlogs and stuff like that. In that time, I've developed a system of making videos that I think is really functional. It's very flexible. It allows for a lot of different types of video creation. It's consistent and it's pretty easy to set up. It's not cheap. There are definitely cheaper ways to do what I do, but it is very consistent and very functional. I'm going to show you it today. Starting with the hardware, I was going to actually film my setup and go over each cable and where everything goes, but I realized that my setup is kind of a mess because I have to fit it into such a small space. I'm underneath my bed right now, so I figured I would actually diagram it out, make a diagram of what it's going to look like. So here is what that's going to look like. I'm gonna put it up on the screen right now. Okay, so here is how my setup is laid out. It looks complicated. It's really not. Let's just walk through it. So everything starts here at the desktop PC. That's what I'm recording this video. That's what you're seeing on the screen right now is my desktop PC. I can play games on it. I can do whatever I want on it, right? This is just my PC. It is separate from everything else, right? Out from that PC, there is an HDMI cable going to my second monitor, which you cannot see, right? It's behind the camera right now. You can't see it. I never record it. It is just there for if I'm playing a game or something where I need to look something up or I need to have something on my second monitor, I can have it there. Another HDMI cable is going out from the PC into monitor 1. And I didn't show this because it's not actually really how you should think about it, but technically speaking, another HDMI cable is coming out from my PC that is going to my capture card, which is an Elgato HD60X. That capture card, or that HDMI rather, is mirroring what is on monitor 1. So whatever is on monitor 1 is also getting sent to... I'll actually draw it just because now I've set it. Here, I made it the same color. It's this new one right here, just to demonstrate that they are the same thing. They're both the same exact signal, and so anything that is happening on monitor 1 like that will be going to my capture card, as it is right now. This capture card, the way capture cards usually work is you put them in your chain. So you HDMI into them and then HDMI out of them, usually like this, right? You HDMI out of them back into your monitor. I don't do that. It doesn't have an HDMI out. It just has an HDMI in because I'm already getting signal from my monitor. This allows me to use my monitor when the capture card is not powered, like when I don't have my laptop plugged in. The monitor still works just fine. There's just nothing being sent to the capture card because it's not powered on. This is always something that is annoying about recording with a capture card for those of you that are familiar with it, is that if your PC is not on at the same time as you are playing your console or whatever through your capture card, you won't see anything because the capture card needs to be powered by USB to allow HDMI to pass through it. I know this is complicated. Let me finish. This solves that problem. And it also allows me to get my full monitor 165 Hz refresh rate, which you can't see on your screen because the capture card only records in 60 FPS. But I can see it fine, even when I'm recording. Going out from the capture card through this little USB cable, it goes into a separate laptop. This is I will read exactly what it is. MacBook Pro 16-inch 2023 with an M2 Pro and 16 gigs of RAM. Another thing that is going into my laptop is my microphone, right? So this microphone, this is a Shure SM7B. It goes into a Scarlett Solo interface. It doesn't matter what interface you have, it just needs to be one that can take in an XLR input. It goes into the Scarlett Solo interface, goes out from the Scarlett Solo interface into my laptop as well. That laptop powers my whole operation. Everything that is not on the PC, I do on the laptop. I do editing, I do thumbnailing, I do recording overall on the laptop. Oh, I forgot something, I just realized. The last thing plugged into my laptop is my SSD. Everything is recorded to this SSD. Why? This SSD allows me to, if I want to, I could edit on a different computer. I could edit on this computer, I could edit on my laptop, I could edit at a computer in the library, I could do whatever I wanted with that footage, but it's on an SSD, it's not hitting my computer's internal storage, and it has to be an SSD that you record to, not your computer's internal storage. I mean, well, yes. It has to be an SSD that you record to, not your, a hard drive, like a spinning disk hard drive, because it just won't be fast enough, you won't be able to get good enough bit rates. So my keyboard and mouse are of course going into my PC. I'm controlling my laptop with my like keyboard and mouse that's built into the laptop. Now you might be asking yourself, why not just, look, I have it right here, it's in my dock. Why not just record these videos using OBS on monitor 2? Why not just record with OBS on this computer, right? The PC that I'm on right now. My reasoning is because recording costs CPU and GPU energy, right? I'm not using the right phrasing for that, but it costs CPU and GPU energy. If I'm playing a really intensive game, if I'm playing like Cyberpunk 2077, right? This is a really intensive, graphically intensive game, right? It takes a lot on my computer to run. It looks great. Right now, with it running, I'm not recording anything in OBS right now. I'm just recording using my laptop, right? And I'm getting a solid like 80 FPS, right? Okay, I just started recording in OBS on my actual computer, and you can see that I've immediately dropped like 10 FPS. That doesn't sound like a lot, but in a game where I'm only running at 60 FPS, especially since hey, what the hell? Right, that dude's mean. I'm gonna take my anger out on that guy. Bruh. Especially in a game that is only running at 60 FPS and might be running at less than that. Plus, it means that if this game crashed right now, my recording might be broken. Or if I turn my computer off right now, in fact, I'll do it just to demonstrate. If I turn my computer off, my computer just turned off. If I was recording in OBS, that recording that I just recorded, gone. It doesn't exist anymore. See? I'm fine. My recording over here is still fine. I can record I can record anything. If my power goes out, I'm completely fine because I'm running off a laptop with its own internal battery. It is the most foolproof recording process imaginable. I can't get messed up unless the laptop itself crashes, which I've had happen maybe one time ever. It's just not going to be a problem, you know? It's just not going to be an issue. And so that is why I set up my setup like this, to be as modular as possible. Everything is separated from everything. There is no single point of failure. Now, you may have noticed I didn't mention my camera. That's because my camera is completely separate from all this, right? My camera is about right here in the diagram, and it's not going to anything. It's just my phone. I'm just recording with the built-in camera app on my phone. And the only thing that can happen that can break it is if I get an Amber Alert, which has happened several times, or if my phone dies, which I keep it plugged in so that won't happen. Everything is as separate as it can be, which sounds complicated, but it's actually like ideal for me. You know, it's perfect. So that's all my hardware. That's how my hardware is linked up. Going over software is going to be a bit quicker, but just to go like over my OBS settings real quick, I guess I can do that. Okay, so this is recording on my laptop now, which is why it looks a little trippy. I can turn off the preview right now. So starting from the start, HD60X, if I go to my properties here, you can see it is just capturing my HD60 in 1080p. You can't use a preset for the HD60s. I don't know why. I just don't bother with it. 1080p, 60 FPS, working fine. Here's all this stuff. I've never adjusted it ever. Then we have HD60X audio, which is just the audio from my PC. It's the audio that's being sent over HDMI. My device for that is just the Game Capture HD60X, and the properties are enabled down mixing. I don't even know what that means. Shure SM7B is coming in from my Focusrite Scarlett Solo audio interface. It is just my solo USB. Hi, it's the next day, and I just realized that I forgot to go over a pretty important thing, which is my microphone settings. So going into OBS, all my microphone like adjustments and stuff are done within OBS. I don't leave anything for editing later. My audio is perfectly done as soon as it enters my editing program. I don't need to mess with it. So I add about 6 dB of gain within OBS, 6.6. It's already going. The SM7B is a very quiet microphone. I used to have it running through a device called a Cloud Lifter, and then I realized that was just a really expensive way to do it, so I sold that, and now I just have it going at max boost through my audio interface and a little bit of gain in here. There are different ways to do it. A Cloud Lifter works too, but that's the way I do it. Then I have it going through a gate. I use third-party plugins for all of this, but OBS has a built-in gate and compressor and EQ and limiter effects for that kind of thing, but I use FabFilter Pro G. It looks like this, as you can see. When I'm not talking, there's nothing coming through the gate, and if I whisper, like really quiet, you hear only a little bit comes through the gate. So that just makes it so that like if I like bump my chair on accident, right, like it doesn't come through the gate. You can see it when I hit it really hard, it peeked through the gate, but Normally, it just catches my voice at normal talking level. So these are my settings for that. If you want to recreate them, you can do that if you'd like to. Then I have my compressor, which is FabFilter Pro C. This is the same thing, or a similar thing, where it makes it so that if I'm talking really loud, it peaks it down, as you can see right there. Or if I'm talking a lot quieter, more like in a gentler voice, it expands it up so that everything is at about the same level. You see how they're all generally hitting around this line in the compressor, even when I'm talking really loud or really quiet? It all hits in this same general zone. That's the idea of a compressor. And again, you can recreate these. There's a little bit of EQ being applied within the compressor as well. After that, I have my FabFilter Pro Q3 EQ. This is just a preset that I have called SM7B EQ. I'm just cutting off my lows, boosting my highs, boosting around 2.5K, and boosting around 135K or 135. EQing is very specific to your own voice. I have kind of a nasally baritone voice, and so I've set my EQ profile to work well with my voice, but it will be different for everyone. I also have it set, this is important, on 0 latency mode, so that if I want to hear my voice in my headphones with my headphones on, I will not get any latency from these plugins. And the last one is another built-in OBS plugin, which is a limiter. These are just the default limiter settings, so that no matter how loud I yell, it cannot go past -6 dB. You can see it, right? My normal talking level is just barely touching -6 dB. And then even if I yell, and if I talk really quietly, it's still hitting around that same amount on the meter. So that's my microphone settings. That is exactly what you hear on my microphone. I don't apply any effects to it after the fact in Resolve. Maybe I'll increase the volume a little bit every once in a while. That's it. It's a good microphone. Highly recommend. It's very expensive, but it's good. And then I have laptop audio, which I don't ever use. This is in theory if I wanted to record something from my laptop speakers, or from my like the laptop that I'm recording on, I could do that, like a Discord call or something, but I've never bothered, so I don't do it. Going over here, you can right click on this. Actually, you don't even have to right click. You can just click on this and click Advanced Audio Properties. And now I have my Advanced Audio Properties screen. So what is going on in here? Let's go over it. So I have my Shure SM7B downmixed to mono. This is important because otherwise it'll feel like it's only coming in your left ear. I don't know why OBS does that by default. And I have my HD60X monitor set to monitor and output, and my laptop audio set to monitor and output. The reason I have this is because this allows me to hear the HD60X audio in my headphones that are connected to my laptop. My headphones are always connected to my laptop, not to my PC. Again, ignore macOS screen capture, which is this one right here. My microphone is going into audio track 1. If you don't know what this allows me to, you'll see later, but when I record, it records all my audio on separate tracks, and so when I bring it into my editing software, I can adjust those individual tracks separately. So I have my microphone going into audio track 1 and audio track 6. Audio track 6 is like my backup. If all else fails, everything is just recorded together on audio track 6. I've never needed to use it, but just in case, you know? So track 1 for my microphone, track 2 for the computer, like the PC, and track 3 for my laptop audio, like a Discord call or whatever. And then of course everything goes into track 6. So that's how this scene works. Basically, that is how my scene works. It's all set up to work like that. I have other scenes, of course. I have scenes for some stuff that isn't related to my making videos. I have my front cam so that I can get a camera feed from my phone. I have a stream starting soon. I have my main stream, which is basically the same as main recording, except it has a source. It doesn't have it right now for some reason, but it has a source for this thing right here, this YouTube chat feature. Oh, I just realized you can't see it because I'm on this thing. So it has my YouTube chat right here that I have on that. Yeah, that's basically my, oh, I didn't go over my like OBS setting. I'm gonna go over that really quickly though. These are my general settings. These are my appearance settings. These are my output settings. I stream at about 10K. I record in whatever indistinguishable quality is. I use high-res MP4. This is important. This is the only like unique thing that I do is I use high-res MP4. I record all audio tracks except 5. I use my video encoder to be my hardware, like GPU on the MacBook. These are my audio settings. They are not especially important. Here are my general video settings. Here are my hotkeys. Nothing is different. I don't use hotkeys. Accessibility settings and my advanced settings are like this. That's all my OBS settings. Now you've seen all my hardware and the software that goes into before I record the video. So now let's actually record a video. I'll just pick a random game off itch and I can show you what happens after I edit a video or after I record a video. Okay, so everything is set up to record. I've got the game running on my PC. I've got my recording set up on my OBS. All I have to do is hit start recording. The last thing I do when I start recording is well, hold on, I can do it while being in this game. I have this video bookmarked. It is a video called Audio Video Sync Test on YouTube. I watch it, and it makes clicks. You can't hear them, but it makes clicking sounds that are synced up with the video. Put my microphone in front of my mouth, and I just go like... Shit. And sync that up. Normally I would clap because it's a little bit easier, but I'm obviously recording with my phone. Then I just put my phone over here. Okay, so I just finished recording a little whatever indie horror game called Salt. Recording is done. Now is time for editing and ingest. I'm going to show you how I do that back on my computer. Okay, so we're back on my laptop here, and we're going to just go over the process of importing my video and how I edit it. So everything starts here. This is my video edit. It's called Mark II because it's the second drive that I've had to do this kind of thing, and it has all of my stuff on it. So I'm going to go over each folder in terms of what they do and the order they go in. So the first thing I do, right, is I go to my templates folder, and I have a bunch of templates that I have for different types of videos I make. I make my templates for my ID compilations, some thumbnail faces that I have, intros and outros. What we're going to do for this one is we're going to do main MGT, which means main gaming template. Inside of one of these templates, I have my Adobe Premiere Pro stuff. I don't use this anymore because I don't edit in Premiere Pro, but it's just a layover from when it was there. I have my audio folder, which I don't use basically. I have my content folder, which I don't use basically. I don't need any of this stuff. The thing that I do need is my thumbnail folder, which has my template thumbnail. And I'll go over that later, but I've got basically the only folders that are important are my thumbnail folder and my video folder. The rest of these are just layovers from when I used to work in Premiere Pro. Flowers intro, we're going to copy that. We're going to go over into projects, one-shots, and rename it to the game we just played. So this was Salt. That was the game we just played. It was called Salt. I always just make them the name of the game, so Salt. Since there's another game called Salt, I'm actually just going to add indie horror to it. Now we're back out here, and we've got our folder called RAWs. So I'm going to go to RAWs, ignore this junk folder, and ingest. This is where all my OBS footage comes in, like straight away, right? This is just the default location for all my OBS footage. You can see I've got a lot of stuff that is in MKV, and I've got a lot of stuff that is in MP4. We're going to focus on the stuff that's in MP4. The MKV is when I used to record in MKV. I don't do that anymore, so we're just going to focus on the MP4 stuff. And this is the most recent video that we just did, right? Okay, so we're back on my laptop here, and that's weird. I don't know how... That's the video I'm currently recording, but whatever. I'm still recording, right? That's weird. Ignore that. The most recent video that I recorded that is an actual game is this one, right? So I've got the whole game on video here. I'm going to copy that file, Command-C, go back to my projects folder, one-shots, Salt, video, game footage, and paste it there. And I'm going to name it Salt Raw. It's the only raw footage that is associated with this. If I had multiple parts, I'd name it like P1 or whatever, but this is just the raw footage, so it's just Salt Raw. So now what do we have? We have our projects. We don't have our face cam. I have to get our face cam off the phone right here. Now, since I use a Mac to edit and an iPhone to film, I can just airdrop the footage straight onto my computer, which I'm going to do right. Hi, it's been like 10 minutes. I moved over my face cam from that video. It's right over here, as you can see, and I'm going to just take it. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go to my projects, one-shots, Salt, video, face cam. And I'm going to paste it in there. Now, this face cam recorded in 2 parts. That just happens sometimes because of how I mess stuff up. So I'm going to name the first part Salt Face P1. All right, that's a lot of big words. There we go. Okay, I don't know why that was happening. Salt Face P2. They're the 2 parts of my salt video. And now all the footage for it has been moved over, so we can actually start editing. Let's do that now. I have DaVinci Resolve opened up here, and we're gonna make a new project. I'm gonna call it Salt Indie Horror. Again, try to keep within the names of what I have in my folders. And there we go, we're in DaVinci Resolve. This is not gonna be a tutorial on how to use DaVinci Resolve, but I am gonna give you some tips on how I edit videos in DaVinci. So I'm gonna drag in my whole video folder, because that has everything that I need. Change frame rate, so it's 60 FPS. There we go. So now we have our video. Now the first thing we gotta do is let Resolve build its waveforms. This takes an annoying amount of time. I don't know why it takes so long, but it just does. It takes a long time for it to build all these waveforms. I think it's because it has to do 6 of them. Anyway, I know that I won't need these bottom 3 because, again, like I said before, I record on multiple tracks and it imports all of those tracks as different tracks into Resolve. I know I don't need these bottom 3 because I'm only recording my microphone and the gameplay, which is just the first 2, so I just don't bother. Same thing happens with my video for reasons unbeknownst to me. You can just unlink that by pressing U. U is my keybind to unlink. I'll have a link to my Resolve keybinds thing in the description. X, C, and V, and B. Those are my main keybinds that X, C, V, B, and U are my main keybinds that I use, obviously. Anyway, while we wait for those to get, worked out, I'm going to show you how I do my face cam. So I've got my face cam right here, right? Got the whole face cam. I'm going to crop it using this. First of all, this box that allows me to move it around is enabled by pressing this or pressing Shift tilde. I'm going to crop my face cam. I'm moving fast, sorry. I'm going to crop my face cam to be like a reasonable box size, like let's zoom it down a little bit. That looks about right to me. We could probably do a little bit more on the right and then a little less on the left. Maybe a little less on the right now, and then crop the bottom out just a little bit. And there we go, there. That looks like about a good face cam for me. I'm gonna take this, which is the anchor point. You can see it moving right over there. Move that up to the top corner. And there we go. Now my face cam is properly anchored. I'm gonna set it up over here. And because this face cam recorded in 2 parts, I'm going to copy this clip. I'm going to press Command C on this clip, and then I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to paste attributes. I'm going to do just all of the video attributes and apply them, and now these 2 clips are the same cut, even though they're not the same thing. So, next thing I can do, I do this in a lot of my videos just because I like the way it looks. I'm going to add a basic outline to this thing here, or to the camera, and this is nice because of the way this fusion effect works. This will also be for download in the description, along with my templates. It doesn't matter how your face cam is cropped, it will just adapt to it and work with that, right? So I can change the zoom of it, or rather the outline thickness. I'm gonna make it a little bit lower. And I try to pick a color that's pretty consistent with the rest of the video. So let's do a little bit of like a darker purple-esque for this video, because you see how there's kind of purple light going on to me in this video. I'm gonna do just purple for that. Slightly thicker outline, so it's a little bit more visible at a lower thing, lower whatever the hell, lower zoom is the word I'm trying to come up with. Thank you. And I'm gonna actually change my face cam zoom to be about, we'll say that, not that big. We'll say about that big is probably reasonable for a game like this, right? And then turn off the thing. Yeah, that looks about right. You can see if we fly it over here. There. That looks fine. That looks about fine, right? Okay, so we'll just do that. And then I will again copy and paste my attributes over here again. All right, Resolve's bugging for some reason, and it's not generating the audio for this part of my footage, so we're just gonna line it up like the old-fashioned way. Hello everyone, and welcome back. All right, lined up. So now I just mute the camera audio, right? Make sure the game audio and the claps are in sync. We can unlink those to do that. There we go. So now we got the whole video. Let's find something interesting that happens in the video. All right, low-key, nothing interesting happens in this video, so I'm just gonna do the intro like normally. They're not all winners. Let's just toss it. So the way I do my intro is I toss it in here, right? It's over here. I'm sorry, I keep bumping my mic, but it's like right in front of my face right now. Toss my intro over here. We gotta lower the volume a little bit to match the rest of the video. That's where it blacks out. Let's get it on the frame where it blacks out. Cut it. I usually lower the volume a lot more, and I also do an EQ to do a low pass on it. So it's nice and low for the viewer so they don't hear it as much. And I'm also going to put this on my track that is not auto track selected, so it won't cut when I do ripple deletes. And let's drag this back in over here, right? And let's just make the intro. I'm just gonna cut it right here. Whoops. Cut it right here. Zoom this up. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be playing a game called Salt. I cut that there, cut my face to be zoomed up for the intro, and there we go. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be playing a game called Salt. And there you go. It's just this for the whole thing, and then you just edit the video, right? I can't teach you how to edit, watch YouTube tutorials, but I'm just going to edit the whole video like right now. Okay, so it's been like an hour. I've got the full video edited here, you know, full thing is done. The last thing I do is I watch the whole video at double speed before I upload it, just to make sure I haven't like accidentally left my address in there or something, which you can do by pressing play and resolve and then pressing L. Alright, nice. I watched the whole video. It's good. Now I'm going to export it. My export template for DaVinci Resolve is this one right here, 40 Mbps 1080p, also in the description. Like, I've used it so long. It's from Your Turn to Die, episode 6 is when I created it. So I export. The whole thing is a single clip in MP4 in H.265 just to save space. Hardware acceleration, network optimization. 1080p 60, that's my standard issue. I limit it to 40,000 K bitrate because that's about what YouTube supports anyway. There's no point in using extra space than that. No advanced settings, no major subtitle settings. Audio settings are pretty much the same thing. AAC 320, it sounds fine. And so I'm going to export it to my video edit finals folder, and this has all my one-shots and all my series and all my stuff like that, and I'm going to give it the same name I'm going to give on YouTube. Let's say let's call it This Guy Is Salty, because that's a hilarious fucking pun, and I'm so funny. Salt in the horror. Export it, and then boom, add to render queue, render it. Just hit it with the export, bruh, not too hard. Alright, now the video is exported fully. I'm on my YouTube page where I can upload stuff, and I'm gonna go find my Salt game. What did I call it? This Guy Is Salty? Something like that. Something in the woods. This Guy Is Salty, Salt Indie Horror. I'm gonna upload that. I'm gonna reuse the details from the last indie horror game that I played, just because it will go in all the right playlists and stuff. Find the game on itch, saltitch.io. God, I can't freaking do anything. There it is, I found it, Salt. Alright, this is the dude, Salt 1. Silly Salty. Surprises, am I right? Might change my intro music to be the right thing. The one thing that I haven't done is I haven't made a thumbnail, right? I haven't made a thumbnail yet. I usually don't make my thumbnails until after my videos are uploaded. I'm going to import this from a video that I did, Video Best Reviewer. My playlist, I'm going to make the other horror games. Save it. There we go. I just trust YouTube to figure that part out. Visibility schedule. Let's see. What's today? Saturday? I'm gonna make this video go up Monday morning. How about that? We'll do Monday like 9 a.m. I don't have a rhyme or reason for when I upload videos. I just try to stick to as much of a schedule as I can. I'm not on a schedule anymore because of, you know, school and stuff, but I try to just fit as much of a schedule as I can. So set it to schedule, and then the last thing that I will do is make a thumbnail. So I'm gonna go back to the project folder for it. One shots, where was it? Salt, there we go, salts. Gonna go to thumbnail, gonna call this Salt thumbnail, open it in Photoshop. I'm trying to switch away from Photoshop as much as I can because it's a paid program and I don't like it for that reason. I would recommend, if you are doing this yourself, you should use GIMP, or if GIMP is not as feature laden as you need, which often is a problem with it for me, then I would use something like Affinity Photo or Krita. So we can just delete this. Usually what I try to do for horror games is I take a still of when the dude jump scares me, right? So like Where does he jump scare me in this? Yeah, it's right there, but I can probably get a more interesting still. Yeah, it's right over here. So let's see. We're zoomed in on that guy right there. Let's go back to my edit page and just turn off my face cam right there so we can get just a clean image. And as a matter of fact, let's zoom out a little bit so I can get a cleaner still. And I'm going to go to my colors and I'm going to hit grab still grabbed, export it as a PNG file and call it. So I developed this thing where I used to do thumbnails as candidates, right? So I'd be like candidate 1, and then I'd go through the file and get more ideas for thumbnails and do candidate 2. I evolved that to candy, and usually I just type candy because now I don't really do multiple passes for thumbnails because I'm lazy. So now my thumbnails are for whatever reason, and you can see it here that a bunch of them are called candy. Is I just call my thumbnails candy. I don't know why. I don't know how that developed. I mean, I just described how it developed, but I don't know why I allowed myself to continue doing that. But there you go. So I always export it as candy. Quit resolve. I don't need it anymore. Get candy in here. Let's zoom in on his face, get it nice and big in the center. I'm not going to go over my whole like philosophy for making thumbnails, but I just do brightness. Usually I just take my brightness contrast and crank them up, you know. Get this guy looking bright. Am I right? Why is it? Hello? Oh, there we go. And let's transform it again so that he's like wider. You know, takes up more of the frame. Okay, that might be a little wide. That's actually probably good. I don't know. Let's get like salt PNG. That's not a PNG. That's not a PNG. I got fooled. Give him a little heap of salt crystals. We can move him up a little bit so that the salt crystals fit in a little bit better. Let's give them an outline. Let's transform this to be a little bit more squashed, you know. There we go. Got a nice salty thumbnail there. It looks relatively interesting, which is all I need it to look like. So export it as a PNG. Put it in the salt folder under thumbnail and just call it salt thumbnail.png. Edit the video, upload the thumbnail, and boom, we are thumbnailed. We have our video. This guy is salty. Salt indie horror. Gotta add the parentheses to stay in style with the rest of my videos. There we go. Salt. Front to back, I've taken you through making a video. Congratulations, you've done it. My camera died in the middle of me making the thumbnail, but we're here now. So yeah, start to finish, you've made a YouTube video. Congratulations. Please keep in mind, this is just the way I do it. You don't have to do it this way. There are plenty of other valid ways to do it. I encourage you, if you're a YouTuber with any sort of success, to make a video like this. So many more people than you would imagine are interested in this kind of thing, and it's really helpful for people who are starting out. I watched setup tours and how I make videos religiously when I was growing up. I learned a lot of stuff from like Jacksepticeye's setup tour where he went over how he makes videos. PewDiePie did one at one point, all that kind of stuff. You know, it's really helpful to learn from watching people that you look up to and try to emulate a style that they do, you know. If there's anything I didn't answer in this video, because I'm sure I probably forgot something, let me know in the comments and I can answer any questions. I love talking about this stuff. It's super interesting to me. Something that I've spent a lot of years trying to figure out and get as good as I can. So hit me. I would love to talk about it. That's all I have for now though. So thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it greatly. If you enjoyed, hit like, hit subscribe, send this video to someone that needs to make better YouTube videos. Not that mine are like incredible or anything, but they're better than some. Thanks for watching. Trans rights, and I'll see you all next time.